Hindsight has definitely helped them improve not only their ability to know what to say about competitors, but it's also improved their confidence. I'll listen to their calls, and it's interesting. You can hear in their voice, like they just sound more confident in what they're saying. Over Q4, we saw a drastic improvement in close won rates, over 10% percentage points from the previous 9 months of the year. So Hindsight has definitely directly contributed to revenue increase. My name is Jason Bohnert. I'm a product marketing manager at Simpro Group, and I focus on competitive intelligence and win-loss analysis. Prior to Hindsight, our competitive motion and our win-loss motion were very manual. It was things like static battle cards, positioning guides, things of that nature for competitive, and all had to be updated manually. And you could never quite get the information as quickly as you needed it. We have 4 brands here at Simpro Group, and so to update all of these battle cards manually, it took so much time. And now to be able to update these pretty much instantly, it's a huge time saver, and it actually lets us focus on what helps sellers win more deals. Before Hindsight, our sellers didn't find the competitive assets like battle cards that useful because they were outdated and they didn't have real deal data in them. Like they didn't have anything that say this other seller was able to beat this competitor because they said X, Y, and Z. Instead, it was just things that we were finding online via the company's websites, their help sites, review sites, things like that. But the really good information comes from those conversations that our sellers are having with prospects. And that's when you really find out more about what our competitors are doing and how we overcome those objections. So reps, they use Hindsight strictly through our Slack bot. We wanted a tool that sellers could use, but we wanted one that they could actually use and not have to leave. So like before when we were making battle cards, we'd make them in slide decks or we'd make them in spreadsheets. And it was always an extra friction point where, a seller had to click on this link and go to that. And it wasn't seamless. And so sellers now, our main communication tool is Slack, and they're in there and they have the Slack bot up. So if they're on a call or they're prepping for a call or maybe it's post a call, for example, if they need to know how we compare against a competitor in a specific industry, they can talk to the Slack bot, say like, hey, I'm working with this prospect. They're in this industry. They have this many employees. They mentioned that they're also considering this other company. How do we compare against them when it comes to, this workflow or this feature functionality or things of that nature? Hindsight has definitely helped them improve not only their ability to know what to say about competitors, but it's also improved their confidence. I'll listen to their calls, and it's interesting. You can hear in their voice, like they just sound more confident in what they're saying. And over Q4, we saw a drastic improvement in close won rates, over 10% percentage points from the previous 9 months of the year. So Hindsight has definitely directly contributed to revenue increase. I've been using ChatGPT and Gemini and Perplexity and those tools for years now, and this feels just like them, but it's focused on my silo, on my competitive intel, on my win-loss analysis, on my company, and it's not going outside of it unless I ask it to go do specific things outside of it. If I have a seller who needs a specific battle card against this competitor for this vertical, I can do one specific just for that so that they can get what they need. And it's super easy. It's just like talking with ChatGPT. Like it's no big deal. Simpro Group, we have 4 brands in our company, and we started off working with Hindsight for just the Simpro software brand. And we're starting to scale beyond that now to the different regions that Simpro uses, as well as the other brands within our portfolio. And it's really nice that we're able to use the competitive enablement side of things to really get our sellers trained and running fast. Hindsight has, an AI role play that we're using to set sellers up so that they can quickly learn how to pitch and demo a Simpro very rapidly. There's definitely a lot of use cases for Hindsight here at Simpro Group, and it's been cool because it's not what I thought was going to be the most obvious things. Like for myself being a product marketing manager, obviously product marketing was going to be a great use case for it. But outside of that, our enablement team has been directly in Hindsight to improve their training materials so that we can get new hires up and running fast. The product team has been able to use it to see quantifiable data on what prospects and customers are actually saying that helped either get them across the line or maybe that lost the deal. And we can then use that information to help influence our roadmap decisions in the future.